Hey, it's Justin from CanadaWhips.ca. This video is going to be a little bit different than the stuff I normally put on this channel. I want to do like a director's or creative commentary on trains, which was a whip cracking video I released last year on my personal YouTube channel. If you're new to Canada Whips, check out all the videos I've got up on the YouTube. I've also got some playlists where I've basically put together resources that you might need. As well, check out the website CanadaWhips.ca. One last thing to self-promote before I get talking about trains. I recently started a Patreon, so if you want to support me and creating tutorials and resources to help grow the community, I would really appreciate it. I'm going to try and put behind the scenes updates and other kind of stuff on Canada Whips Patreon. Just this morning, actually, I posted a tutorial for one of the tricks that's in trains. So just like fun little stuff on there, goodies and whatnot. If you want to support me, I'd really appreciate it, because everything that I do comes out of my own pocket and out of my own time, and as much as I love doing it, it's not entirely sustainable. So whatever you feel comfortable donating, or whatever this channel is worth to you, would mean the world to me. Anyway, Trains is a video I made last year, and it came from watching juggling reviews on Instagram. Now, Juggling Reviews is an Instagram page run by Zach McAllister, where he reviews, well, him and a group of people review different juggling videos. And the juggling community has tons of really cool videos. And I'd seen a fair few, like stuff done by Wes Peden and Tony Pezzo and so on. And when I was watching this Instagram and reading the posts on it, it kind of made me think like, man, why doesn't the whip community have stuff like that? And so that was kind of what I wanted to create. As well, at the same time, I got really into this podcast called Object Episodes by Jay Gilligan and Eric Aubrey, and they talk about juggling as a concept, juggling as an art form, performance juggling, and so on. And it really made me start to think differently about my creative process and how it relates to whip cracking. A big thing with trains was trying to be intentional with what I wore, how I shot the tricks that I was doing, how I ordered the tricks that I was doing, the tricks themselves, obviously. I just wanted every choice that was made to be mine, because that's kind of maybe the most important thing in creating a piece, right, is having yourself be in it. And the main reason I even created the video, other than all the inspiration, was because I knew that, you know, the whip community has potential to put out content like this. We're all artists. We all have our own tricks. We all love this thing very much. And so I guess I hoped that people would see this video and think like, man, I could create something like this too if I want to, or I could make tricks if I want to. And then hopefully the community kind of grows from that. So if you feel like creating something, please absolutely do. It's awesome. One of the main, I think, messages that I was trying to push with some of the stuff in here is that like anything can be a trick as long as you intend to do it. And so, I have goofy tricks in here that aren't that hard. They're kind of weird, but they're still tricks because like I'm calling them tricks and I wanted to do them. So yeah. Anyway, we can go through the video and I'll just talk about little choices and things I made along the way. I'm so bad at hitting there we go. The video is called Trains because there's trains in the background, but also because where I live, there's lots of trains. I pass a big metal train sculpture on the way to work. I work in a town called the Railway City. There's a lot of trains in the culture here. And just like how Australians, or other people, I guess, name tricks based on where they're from, like Majura or the Queensland crossover, or Don't Mess with Texas, and so on. I thought, what better way to pay homage to where I live than just to call the video Trains. I should mention the outfit. So in the podcast, Jay told this story about a guy that got up on stage in a full tux, and then he changed into t-shirt and jeans and did his performance. And the main idea is like, anything can be a costume if you want it to be. And so my friend Spencer, he was donating some clothes to a thrift store, and he gave me a garbage bag full of his stuff to drop off. And I heard the whole like anything can be a costume, and I ripped open the garbage bag and I just stole Spencer's jacket. And then I built the costume in my video around that, so that was kind of where that came from. And the sunglasses I found in a convenience store. My girlfriend painted them purple to match the jacket. And the video starts and ends, well, the video starts with me putting sunglasses on, and then the video ends with me breaking the sunglasses. And the reason I did that was just because at the beginning of Weirdness, my other video, I put on sunglasses, and at the end in the bloopers, the sunglasses break. So that was kind of why that decision was made. This shot I think is really cool train in the background, neat like under the leg. I should say, in Weirdness as well, when I put tricks together, I kind of put them all over the place based on whatever I felt. Whereas in this one, I tried to be more intentional with the way I order them in the video. So at the start, I was doing skip overs under the leg, then I did the under the leg throw, under the leg catch, and then just now I've done an under the leg into like this flat catch section. And so I tried to keep, I guess, similar concepts together. And the only reason this section even started with an under the leg catch is just because I wanted it to fit in the little sequence. But really those are like cigar box tricks I was trying to do. These are reverse shoulder rolls. So instead of going around the back, they were going through the front. Tried to keep trains in the background just to like make the shots interesting. This stupid double spin elbow toss is the hardest thing I've ever done, and I never even did it. Truthfully, you'll see in the last take I actually messed it up, but I tried for days to land this, and I got so nauseous and so dizzy, and I bonked myself in the head, tore up the grass in this field. And you'll see in this take I grabbed the whips, and then I end up losing one. And what happened was I caught them, and then I tried to transfer to the handles because I didn't catch them perfectly, but I missed that transfer. And, you know, I tried for days even after this to get it, but I never did. And initially I was like, okay, I'm just not going to put it in the video. But then I loved like the whole me falling, me like missing them and whatever. And then the whole like got busy in a Burger King bathroom line. I thought that was funny. So I just ended up putting it in and cutting it to make it sort of look like I made it. But I intentionally made it so that if you slowed the video down, you'd see that I actually screwed it up because I wanted to be at least a little bit honest. A lot of people like this trick, this like weird elbow shot thing. I was actually supposed to do a harder version that I had written down, but that didn't have the extra spin in it. But the extra spin looked a lot better on camera, so I kept it in, even though it made it substantially easier. These are around the body throws. It's about to cut so that I'm facing backwards instead of forwards. And my clothes, though, are still facing forwards, which I just thought was funny. And I'm actually standing on my shoes backwards as well, but you can't see it in the take. And that was just like a fun way of showing the around the body throws trick. And also in the background, I'm in front of the little red caboose, and I picked that because I'm facing backwards and you can see my caboose. What else is there? Oh yeah, this is like a grass cutter thing. It was circular, so I tried to like keep circular tricks in front of it, but I was standing off center, so it didn't exactly work out the way I wanted. And that trick, actually I'll go back. That trick here I call the donkey's breakfast. It's just like a random stupid thing I found. And I found that in between takes just while I was goofing around and trying to keep my arms warm. And I thought, oh yeah, I'll just put it in the video. So it's not something I worked super hard on, I just kind of found it. This trick here with the volleys in front and then you're going back, so you have 4 cracks, spin, I really, really like. And when I was talking to Zach McAllister, I like hired him to do an hour-long just coaching session with me on directing juggling videos and how to the creative process and all that kind of stuff. And he said one of the great things about Wes Peden is sometimes he'll make tricks that are really, really hard and you're just like, I can't believe a human being could do that. And other times he'll make tricks that just make you think, I can't believe no one's done that before. How didn't I think of that, you know? And that was kind of what this trick felt like to me, because it's not particularly hard at all, but it is interesting and cool. And so it was just like, how isn't this a thing already? That's an image I was trying to make. So in the podcast, Jay and Eric talk about making images. And so my attempt at making an image here is like, I've got a circle behind my head and then I'm making a figure 8 kind of in front of it. Yeah. This is a neat little trick that I was playing with David Sertile on Instagram. I don't know if he came up with it or me, but it's in the video now. So it's mine. And then we've got like a weave over an arrowhead, and then the weave is going to change direction, and then it goes under the arrowhead, which is pretty tough. But I think it looks kind of cool. Staggered stacked volleys. I'm sure an Australian somewhere has done this a million times, but I thought it was neat, so I put it in. I'd never seen it before. Oh, this. So this was an idea that Zach had. He had talked about getting the other whip to be in the way, and through like conventional whip cracking, that would mean some sort of intertwine. But when I talked to him more, he just meant like putting it in the way, right? And I kind of realized that, man, there's a lot of possibility there too. So I ended up coming up with the whole like through the loop and the whole body thing. But I just thought that was such an interesting idea, and there's still a lot of potential there. Because really, it's not about stuff that's hard, it's about making stuff that's, you know, interesting and fun, and that trick really was fun. This is like a double behind the back thing, behind the back transfer, behind the back catch. That's really hard to do. Yeah, this shot was supposed to have that big crane in the background, but it ended up not reading very well just because it's so busy. So I kind of tried to take it out a little bit, but yeah. Cool little one-hand sequence. And then this is a Loop Rollins shoulder wrap transfer, but using just my elbow instead of hooking it. Or I don't even know anymore, to be honest. It was something about using my elbow instead of something else. But when I started planning and creating the tricks for this video, it was when I was camping. And I wasn't able to crack the whips because it would disturb people. So instead I was trying to find moves that didn't involve cracking, and I ended up figuring out a whole bunch of stuff related to the elbow. So elbow tosses, elbow transfers, elbow pinches, and all this kind of wacky stuff. And I actually wanted to make a video called Elbows that just has tricks involving the elbow in some way, but most of those tricks ended up getting put into trains instead. I will say a lot of people think about creativity like, you know, I'm just out whip cracking and then I get hit by like a bolt of genius, and it's like, oh, I have an idea and I'm gonna make this amazing thing. And I don't know what other people's processes are like, but it's not that way for me. It's like I'll go out and intentionally be like, okay, I'm gonna make tricks today, and then just try and do random stuff, you know. So like with the elbow thing, I was like, what are all the different things I can do with my elbow, and then how do those relate to other tricks that I already know? And then I kind of build from there. And then I realized that like normally I'll push something off my elbow or wrap it around my elbow or I'll trap it with my elbow, but I've never put anything in here before. And so I started doing tricks that put stuff in there, and then all of a sudden now there's new tricks. So really that's what my creative process is like, and a lot can come of it just by being like, well, what's possible and what's not possible, and how do I make it possible? And just like working at it. So yeah, that was a bit of a tangent, but basically what I'm trying to say is like you can create stuff just by trying to. You just gotta kind of dig for it a little bit. Don't wait for things to come to you, like chase after them. Yeah, this little section, I'm trying to do throws starting high, going low in front of my body, and then coming back up. So it starts, I'll start it over. Here we go. So I go Toronto twist, then neck, then body, then under the leg, then behind the back, then over the shoulder. So you can see it's kind of going down and then back up. That was kind of the idea. Didn't really translate super well, but that was it. This is just like a neat shot. It's an each way elbow toss. So an each way elbow toss one way, then each way crack, then an each way elbow toss the other way. Which is kind of tough. 3 different variations on the wrist twister, which is a move that Kit and I like to play with. This little sequence I think is so goofy, and I love it for that. I remember finding the square and be like, oh my god, there's squares now, because everything about whip cracking is about the loops and the circles, right? And so I was so happy to find another shape. And then even though this whole sequence is super easy and just weird and doesn't really fit, I wanted to put it in just because it was like, man, a square, you know, anything could be a trick if you want it to be. So that was that. This take I didn't like because camera was out of focus. But when I did this double shoulder roll, the whips split and they were on the right sides. So the same sides as when the video started. And so I knew I had to stomp the glasses and finish it because it was like, oh, I'm never going to get them to land like that again. And for some people that think, you know, I didn't stomp the glasses, I actually definitely did. I've got all the pieces over there. I'm planning to make a little like plaque to commemorate the video for me. But yeah, that's trains. Really quickly, I just want to say that the goal of the video, as I said before, is just to, you know, hopefully inspire people to make content. And I hope that you, thank you for watching this, are at least a little bit inspired to try and make something new. I love all the content that the whip community puts out. And I think that we have so much potential to further our art form by doing goofy stuff like this. So really, whatever you think is interesting, you should make videos on, and I will watch them. The other key takeaway, I think, is that anything can be a trick if you want it to be. The only mistakes there are what Jay calls failures of intention. So if you didn't mean to do it, then you made a mistake. But if you did mean to do it, then it's not a mistake and it's a trick. And that's why I can hold a square and just do this, and it's a trick. Because that's just what I wanted to do. So don't be afraid to try new things and do whatever you want to do. And then post and share with the community, because I would love to watch your content. Thank you for watching this super long video. I know. I'm going to quickly say, please follow my Patreon if you want to. And yeah, I am planning to do a whole bunch of new tutorials this year. I'm going to redo some old tutorials that aren't very good quality, new tutorials for new cracks and tricks and routines. And yeah, I'll see you on the flippity flip.
See you on the flippity flip.